How many times have you heard about that someone says diet doesn't matter for hair loss? Look at my body, he eats junk food every day and drinks beer every single weekend and still has a razor sharp hairline at age of 35. But this is the single most dangerous myth in the hair loss community, tricking guys ignoring underlying factors on the scalp environment. And here's the truth, those guys are able to get away with it because of the individual biological buffers. They may have naturally high sex hormone binding globulin binding up to their free DHT, different androgen density, or an extremely resilient skin barrier mantle. And for the rest of us, especially if you are already genetically predisposed to male pattern baldness, your diet directly indicates how sensitive your follicles are to DHT, how fast your scalp produces oxidized sebum, and whatever your hair roots are suffocated beneath with microscopic inflammation. I am not speaking from theoretical research papers or sitting behind the desk writing isolated lab studies. I run a scalp microscope audits every single week with the real clients, and I can see what happens with the scalp environment when one fixes internal factors. So now let's break down exact biological mechanism connecting your plate to your follicles. When you have a diet that is high in ultra-processed oils, refined sugars, or partially inflammatory food triggers, your sebaceous glands goes into overdrive. But this is not just about having oily scalp, it's about sebum quality, because bad dietary fats creates oxidated retic sebum. And under the microscope, this looks like a hard yellowish peripheral sebum plugs choking the follicle ostia. And here is what nobody tells you about DHT. Local inflammation on your scalp drives DHT receptor sensitivity. When oxidated sebum sits on your scalp skin, it feeds native yeast called Malassezia, and that yeast breaks down those lipids into free fatty acids, triggering microinflammation. And this can easily be seen under the microscope when you look at the follicles and if they are having that peripheral red rings around them. And once those red rings forms around the follicles, your local androgen receptors become hyper-responsive to circulating DHT. And here's the kicker that no one talks about. You cannot fix this problem just by taking Finasteride or even Dutasteride. 5-alpha reductase inhibitors lower serum DHT, but if your scalp is continuously inflamed and choked by oxidated sebum plugs, but those low remaining DHT levels will still wreck your follicles because the local tissue is hyper-responsive. Now let's talk about traps the guys fall into when they try to eat clean. So trap 1 is about extreme calorie restriction. Many guys jump into aggressive keto or carnivore diet to fix their health. And while those diets can be great for insulin sensitivity, long-term severe carb restriction or calorie deficiency triggers a systemic stress response. And it spikes cortisol, drops active T3 thyroid conversion, and forces massive amount of androgen follicles into a telogen or shedding phase. And 3 months later, you get a massive telogen Effluvium shed. And second trap is about low of essential fatty acids and keratin clogging. And if your diet lacks a high-quality fatty acids such as omega-3 or bioavailable fats, your skin cells cannot slough off them correctly, and you end up with dry, brittle keratin sheets stuck to the scalp, creating a keratin clog that choke off the emerging hair shafts. And third trap is about low protein diet. Hair is made from protein, and if you are not eating enough bioavailable protein, your body will prioritize vital organs first, and your hair follicles end up getting whatever is left over, leading to the slower growth rates for the follicles and also a more easily and fragile hair itself that can easily break. And third trap is about burning fitness diet. Eating plain dry chicken breast, plain white rice, or raw broccoli every single week is not a complete hair growth diet. It lacks essential fat-suitable vitamins such as vitamin D3 and K2, and trace minerals such as zinc, copper, and selenium. And those are necessary to support follicle stem cell metabolism and gut skin barrier. Another important connection is between your gut and your skin. Many people notice that certain foods make their scalp worse. For example, they may notice more itching, redness, oiliness, or burning after eating a certain foods. This of course doesn't happen for everyone, but you need to pay attention to your own individual responses. And food preparation can also matter. And if you are eating grains, nuts, and legumes, proper soaking and preparation makes them much easier for digestion. And lastly, also cooking method matters, because high temperatures such as deep frying foods can damage the fats and create oxidated components. So instead of only asking for you, is this food healthy, ask yourself, does this food work well for your scalp and your body? Because that's a much more useful question. So how can you tell if your diet is actually affecting your scalp environment and causing the follicles have a harder time to grow? Look at those signs. Does your scalp become itchy, tight, or irritated after certain meals? Do you have ongoing redness around your follicles? Do you see yellowish waxy buildup around your hair roots? Are you shedding more of fine mineralized hair, or your daily hair shedding fluctuates on daily basis? And if you are noticing one or several of those signs, simply adding another hair loss product will not solve the problem, because you need to look at the whole environment. That means to improve your external scalp environment while also improving your internal factors and your lifestyle and your diet. For scalp, that means reducing buildup, supporting skin barrier, and keeping your scalp pH in the balanced state. And internally, it means that you are making sure that you are getting enough proteins, calories, fatty acids, and also vitamins and minerals. And the goal here is simple, creating a healthy environment for follicles to grow. And if you want to stop guessing about your hair loss and want to have a structured approach to the problem, I have 2 ways I can help you. Get my time-proven protocol called the Rapid Reformal Workbook below this video in description. A workbook will give you step-by-step a guide to understand your scalp, including pH, buildups, washing routine, and scalp care. And if you are someone who wants to have more support and more guidance, then you can also apply for my one-on-one coaching as well below this video in description. We look at your scalp microscope scans, your scalp routine, and your diet and your progress over time. And we adjust the protocol what we actually see in the microscope photos. You don't have to keep guessing what your scalp needs. Look at the scalp, look at the nutrition, and look at the bigger picture. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and see you next video.